So what I want to talk to you guys about is the idea of the transhumanist movement that's going around nowadays. That we will make human beings smarter, more creative, and so on and so forth, because our design is not good enough. Now, for the transhumanist movement, is it really necessary? And this is one thing I want to ask you a question, okay? And this is something from the past. Do you remember the time in the past when, I'm gonna have to stop doing this thing, but, well, these hand things, yeah, but, like I was saying before, do you remember the time in the past that you had a time, that you were really good at a particular hobby, okay? You were just excellent at it. You were just very, very good at it, because it doesn't have to mean that you were just naturally inclined. It's probably the typical story, of this kid who, who just wasn't really good at anything, but they found something that they were really into, and they got really into it. They really found it fun. They were just really interested in it from the get-go, and they just got really good at it. And it could be something productive. It doesn't just have to be like, maybe Call of Duty or something. It could be something productive, Maybe you could have been really good at tennis or something. That's entertainment for people. Maybe you could have been really good at cooking or drawing, just whatever, just something that you were just really good at something, to be honest with you, you're just good at it, and you just have never reached your full potential. And even aside from the fact, if you couldn't find anything that's actually productive for this world, that can actually not only be productive, but something that can make you famous and something for you to share with other people, which I'm sure would be a more enjoyable experience, and possibly if depending on how it's done, we could possibly do that. If we could get people to be passionate and people to enjoy doing what they're doing. But relating it to the things that you enjoy doing and the things that you're interested in doing, entertainment-wise, not work-wise, look at how good you became at it. Look at and maybe you lost interest in it because you couldn't handle the harassment, you couldn't handle the people online saying that you had no life, and of course the stereotype along with it. Maybe you could not handle, people saying different sorts of things, such as, people who were your friends, or at least you thought they were your friends, who hyped you up and said you sucked at everything, oh, are you good at anything? And then when they really were interested in this, you became really good, and then later on, it turned out they just lost interest and said, oh my gosh, you still on that? Like, that game, like, I'm not even interested in that. So that's the truth about most people, is that most people, honestly, they don't reach their full potential for anything, because of how the world is, to be honest with you. Like, honestly, look at history, okay? Whenever people became really, really good at something throughout history, you always had the same people throughout it who kind of were scared about them. Like people like such as Galileo, it doesn't even have to be him. Just anybody throughout history. If you look it up, throughout history, if people are really good at something, people start wondering if they're practicing witchcraft or something, or they're just in general, they're scared of them. And sometimes people spread rumors and all these things that they're working with the devil because they're scared of them. They're jealous more. That's the type of fear they experience with them. It's because they're scared. they're scared of them. They're jealous. You know, to be honest with you, a lot of them probably didn't even, if there was practice, didn't even show up to it and all that sort of stuff. And they say all these sorts of things to put you down. So honestly, that really is the truth about about this issue. You are a lot capable of a lot more than what you think you actually are capable of doing. And just in general, honestly, if we lived in a world where you had a group of people who honestly did something as long as they were interested in something productive, can you imagine how much society would progress? You know, technologically wise, you know, architecture and all of that sort of stuff. Because let's just say you might have had this one person who was really into this. You know, not only would it be more enjoyable, you had this one person who was really into this. They shared some techniques with you. You had this other person who had the same interest in architecture. You know, they were very good at it. You know, they might have been rivals, but then later on, they started to realize, you know, we actually get along. You know, so they might share each other's ideas. And just in general, sometimes people just learn things and they just put these ideas out there that can help develop these sorts of things. So honestly, you know, and that's the truth about it. And these people throughout history, were they practicing witchcraft? No, man. You know, there's people in this world who just play a game, you know, and they're killing like 100 people. You probably know some of these people in your life, if you know, if anything. If for a video game, and you think they're practicing witchcraft? No, it's because they're really into it and they practice all the time, you know, because they find it really fun. So all of this sort of stuff is just outlandish, you know. And if we were to do that, not only, you know, we would progress more, the economy would benefit from it, you know, because you have more people, the quality of the production of a lot of things, from entertainment, any type of entertainment would be better, and the production of things, maybe even things that can help save people's lives, would be a lot better, because people would enjoy doing what they're doing, and it would just be better, you know, and not just safer, but more comfortable as well. Like, who knows, man, you might have a house that in general is a lot stronger, so it's stronger, and you might have somebody who might come up with an idea that might make it possible for us to have bigger houses using cheaper materials, using a certain method to make those cheaper materials stronger. You don't know these things. So honestly, the biggest issue with this is honestly, if you want to be the best at what you can do, you know, and just in general, aside from that, you just like creating, you like creating new things and all that stuff, even if you were to reach your peak, the biggest issue you need to learn is to learn how to control your emotions, because people will say these comments in life, whether you like it or not, they will say these sorts of things. So it's best you just learn to control yourself, and to control yourself is to learn to have self-talk. Yourself, whenever people criticize you, analyze every single thing that they said. You know, look at it from both perspectives. Sum it up. You know, is this really true? Am I really a freak? Or something? Is this true? You know, is this really true? And how can I backpedal it? How can I get rid of that statement? And just in general, you're not a freak, you know. But how can I debate this discussion? How can I make those negative thoughts get out of my head? You know, because this is what I really want to do, and this is what I want to do to become successful. And this is one of the reasons why I guess a lot of the things of today are so bad, you know. Because people, whenever they get good at something, they don't reach their full potential, you know. People are just expecting mediocrity. So honestly, that's the thing. What you need to do is if you're to do that, if you're truly happy with your accomplishments, you not only will you be satisfied, you will also be able to share it with other people for better enjoyment. Because honestly, in conclusion, this whole transhumanist movement is just a ripoff. Honestly, man, do you really want something as personal as your body to be controlled by a machine? Like for crying out loud, you know, people can't even control websites such as Ashley Madison and stuff to prevent it from getting hacked. Just in general, it's not a good idea. It's probably going to be a ripoff. It's going to cost a lot of money. It's not necessary. And honestly, the best way to control someone is to control how they are inside. And this is not what I want for the world. This is my message, and this is all I have to say.